Devon Williams. What's good, Dev?
Chilling.
All right. Let's get right into it. Jon Jones versus Reyes.
All right. Before we get to Jon Jones Reyes, there was a bunch of comments in my last Jon Jones breakdown in terms of the height, and then people keep hitting saying that they close to the same height, and I said this is the outside. Y'all should go back and check that video too. But to answer that, I said because he doesn't have an advantage physically and he already loses skill-wise, that's why. It was a general overview of Jon. So please listen to a whole video before you comment. Jon Jones, Dominic, Reyes. So let's get all this out the way. Reyes does not have a resume. He has not showcased the skill. He only got 12 fights. Jon Jones has more on the streak than Reyes' amateur and pro record combined. His streak just as a champion. So, in that sense, it's not even a conversation. But when we take all that out and we look at him as two 0-0 fighters, right? We can say that he ain't got this, he ain't got that. Dominic Reyes is interesting because, for one, what he says is true. He is an extremely athletic kid. He does a lot of things wrong, but he can crack, and he's very confident. And the last time I see somebody that confident with 12 fights who fought the potential greatest of all time was Chris Weidman. And we said all the same exact things. I believe Chris Weidman was 12-0 at the same time. Best fight that he had up until that point was against Damian Maia at 85, which wasn't even the same Damian Maia back then. And before that fight was Mark Munoz. So, and now he beat Anderson twice. He stopped the whole dynasty in 2 fights back to back.
If you remember, around that time they were talking about Silva versus Roy.
They was talking about Silva versus Roy. Silva potentially going up to fight Jones. GSP Silva. Silva was supposed to transcend weight classes and sports. And he fought a kid with 12 fights who had, I don't even think he had any world champions on his resume. He fought 2 guys, Mark Munoz, who at that point was on a decline, Damian Maia, who was a blown up welterweight. And he won that fight not impressively, but it was a tough fight. And then he goes out there and stops Anderson. And it wasn't like he went out there and just outskilled Anderson. He just outfought him. That's it. So if you put that into context, Reyes is the same as Weidman, except that Reyes has demonstrated more knockout power, which we already know can swing a fight that quick. Now, this is where I think Reyes messed up. If he'd have kept his mouth closed, this fight would have been real interesting, and I'd have been telling motherfuckers that you might want to put on the betting line. Because there's no reason for Jon to take you seriously. Zero reason for him to take you seriously. You don't have no resume.
Well, you got to take him seriously. He's a puncher, bro. You got to take punches seriously.
He fought Rampage when Rampage was Rampage. He fought Lyoto when Lyoto was still deading dudes with one left hand. People act like Lyoto wasn't deading dudes. Lyoto was coming off where he smashed Shogun standing up. He survived first round Vitor. Like, the boy can fight. But it's not like he can just fight. He got a chin too, and he got heart, and he gonna dig. And we know something else that we ain't gonna mention on camera, but they know. They know the allegations.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. What kind of testing is it gonna be?
Look, man, it's Jon Jones.
He
punched
Anderson. He took
very little. Sit down, hit him all in the back of his head. Referee ain't say shit, getting TKO. Knee Anthony Smith in the face in front of the ref. They ain't take nothing away. Come on, man. We'll keep it all the way fucking. No matter what the allegation is, they still gonna show up and fight on Saturday. Yeah. So with Reyes, it's only one question: can Reyes in 5 to 6 minutes get the job done? Because past that point, his power go down. He start looking a little sloppy, and I don't think, for one, he has no answer to anything Jon can do. I challenge someone to say, like, he's not a better striker. He can't handle Jon in a clinch. I don't believe after the first round he'll be able to stop Jon's takedowns at all. I don't think he'll be able to counter Jon either. So I think Jon will be able to move in and out striking-wise at free will. His best option is to play the Vitor game, which is you going paw, and the second you see that blitz coming, then you got to get ready. But he's seen Vitor already. He's seen guys who can blitz with strong left hands. And you can say Vitor was older, but Vitor is also faster with more experience. This kid is bigger. He's going to be slower. He's isn't even as sharp as Vitor. His joints ain't even. They kind of like them ups.
Again, you can say all those things for Whiten.
And this is why it's somewhat interesting, because he's supposed to look. The last time we was in an exact situation like this, where a champion cleared out the division, he was considered the greatest of all time. So they just gave him some kid who was like 12-0, stopped him twice. So I don't know. I mean, Jon Jones is going to win this fight 9 times out of. I mean, like 9.999. How many nines you can go is going to win this fight. If they fight 9 times, Jon will probably win. I mean, if they fight 10 times, Jon should win 11 times. Let's put it that way. Like, there's no way he should win this fight. But he's a big athletic puncher who might be getting underestimated. I think him talking has kind of motivated Jon to like, yo, I can't lose to this kid. Out of all the people I can't lose to, you check his countdown that they did. He specifically like, Dominic Reyes is one of those kids I just do not like. And he planned on fucking him up bad.
That could work to Reyes though, because that means Jon will be more engaged in striking.
No, because he had an issue with Rashad. He had an issue with Quit. He had an issue with Quit and came out crawling because he didn't want to get punched in the head. Jon about winning fights. He don't give a fuck how he get it done. Like, he can say he gonna want to do this or do that. He gonna knock you out, but he coming to win the fight. If that means him pressing you like OSP and just getting there, when he get a takedown in the round, he gonna do it. He got too many different ways to win it. Dominic Reyes only got one. It's the same thing. If a fighter got more questions than answers, then he the one who probably gonna lose. And he should lose. But, you know, never count out explosive left hands. We've been seeing crazier shit happen.
Yeah, that was the part I didn't even touch on. Him being a southpaw.
But Jon fight from both stances too. And Jon fight good open stance better than he do closed. So like he fight better orthodox southpaw than he do southpaw. He does those things. He does those things very well. And I think again the mix-ups is going to be a big issue for him, especially when Jon goes southpaw, tries the knee tap, and then starts setting him up. Also, I think Reyes is in his head thinking he's going to be able to outthink Jon. Like he's going to be able to blitz, hold back, counter, blitz, hold back, counter. And he don't got the gas for that. He has never been into the 4th round. He don't know nothing about that. He knocked out Chris Weidman and he beat OSP. That's his best 2 wins. 2 people who ain't even in the category as Jon. Jon took years off and just gave OSP that gentleman's 5-0. So I just don't see it happening.
To me, Jon really didn't look impressive in his last fight though.
He didn't look impressive, but I'm gonna keep it all the way. I'm gonna keep it funky. He sounded high as hell after the fight. When they did post-fight interview. Look back at the post-fight interview. He sounded high as hell. And they asked him, they was like, how come you didn't press with the takedowns? He was like, why would I have to? I was already beating him here. Why can't I just sit here and like, he know, like, how did we see him look for a takedown against a dude with a torn ACL who got tapped, took it down and tapped out by Eric Spicer. You know what Eric Spicer is?
No, I never seen it.
All right then. So Jon wanted to take him down. He could have took him down. He was sitting here trying to prove some sort of a point. He was trying to prove some kind of a point. Or he was high as a motherfucking kite. We don't know. But he just sat there and gave us a lackluster fight. And that was it. That was it. It was a lackluster fight.
All right, so give me a definitive prediction. What happens?
Definitive prediction? I'm gonna be honest. I think that Jon, because Jon like has this like stigma of him not finishing fights, but he's fighting guys that have kind of been through the trenches and all that. Like Dominic ain't never, he don't know what it's like to be on the losing end of a fight. Never been in the 4th round. I think Jon submits him in 4th round, 5th round, 4th submission. Either that, yeah, I'll go with a submission.
Don't you think not losing is an advantage?
Not losing
is mindset.
Yeah, that mindset. That's what we were talking about. Confidence is an X factor. You can come in and because no one else believe it but you'll fight a little harder. You might dig a little deeper. But I mean, there's also levels and different categories to this shit, and he not even in the same discussion. He just showed up. Somebody just dropped him off here, and now he got to see if he can get the job done. Because couldn't nobody else do it. But it ain't looking too good for the boy. It really ain't looking too good for Boy. We ain't even seen him fight top light heavyweights yet. Like, we gonna keep it all. He ain't even fought Corey Anderson yet. He ain't fought Corey Anderson. Alir Latifi up at heavyweight now, but he ain't fought Corey Anderson. He ain't fought Anthony Smith. He ain't fought Santos, obviously, because he's gone. Your best win was a knockout against a blown up middleweight who had already been knocked out a bunch by middleweights.
Do you feel like they're selling this because of his O?
Come on, man. If you cover boxing MMA, you know that O is the main selling point. It's the main selling point. He got a cute little highlight reel. You can
sell to the casuals.
You can
big
sell,
puncher and
you can sell it because Jon sell himself. So if you can sell a O, show us a little highlight reel. You don't show when he laying that punch and afterwards how you sitting here having debatables with OSP into the last set. Like, yeah, you was beating OSP, but y'all both look sloppy as hell in that fight. And that's no disrespect to Dominic. OSP was a big step-up fight for him up until that point. It was a big step-up fight for him up until that point. But I told you when they from the mountain. Up until that point, but it's like OSP ain't Jon. OSP ain't Anthony Smith. OSP ain't none of them guys. If we say here right now and say, we look at all the top guys, can he beat a Gustafson? Probably not. We don't even know if he could beat a Glover Teixeira yet. We don't even know if he could beat a Glover Teixeira yet. So I can't give him nothing. Forget beating Jon Jones. I don't know if Dominic can beat Corey Anderson. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if he can beat Corey Anderson. Has he shown you anything that says he can beat Corey Anderson?
Yes.
What?
He's a puncher.
He a puncher.
Yo, when dudes, just like with Deontay Wilder, people can tell me skills and all that. I get it. I get that. Because skills do pay the bills. But when you're explosive, you can beat anyone.
All right, but here's my thing. Who he knocked out that make you think he's some violent puncher?
No one.
All right, then. You can't tell me.
But it's the fashion.
If we put him in there against 6 plumbers, he can be known as the most vicious puncher.
It's the fashion.
He can be the most vicious puncher in the plumber law. We can give him a bunch of plumbers, but go that way. Go that way. You know I love you, Brian, but too many people don't walk their front about to get somebody. But you can put any one of these, casual boxers in there with somebody that don't know how to fight, and they can be a violent puncher. You watch one of them little backyard fighting guys. Those dudes look like violent punchers when you hitting something that's going to be right there. You hit a middleweight who was already getting knocked out by middleweights who came up 20 pounds. And let's remember, you was arguably losing up until that point. He was pushing you around. That way. We want to put a sign up.
Yeah, so let's wrap it up. You say Jon Jones.
I said Jon Jones by submission, 4th or 5th round. It's going to be late. I think Dominic is going. I think that first round is going to be the only one we looking at. I think it's going to be the only one you're looking at. I think past that first round, if you getting tired against other guys, if you like this after your Chris Weidman knockout, and you in there with Jon Jones, who not going to stay still, who going to be putting front kicks in your gut the whole time, who going to be offsetting you. The second he see your hand load up, he going to be knee tapping you. He going to be moving all around the ring. You going to get frustrated. You know you can't extend, and you know it's certain stuff you can't do. So his only option is going to be he going to have to go try and get it. And that opens you up to getting tied up. That's what OSP's one thing was. We were saying the same shit about OSP. OSP is a big puncher. OSP had wrestling too, and had, a couple great submission finishes against better guys. And they wasn't talking about OSP the way they talking about Dominic Reyes. Oh, because Dominic Reyes beat OSP. Well, it's like at that point, how many people beat OSP? True. How many people beat OSP?
True.
All right. Like, we will keep it. He don't got nothing in this fight that says he can beat a top 5 guy yet. But we said the same shit about Chris Weidman. And that's it.
Okay, I like it, man. Thanks, Doug.
All right, no problem, Jim.